Congratulations to TS Galaxy for knocking out Mamelodi Sundowns in the Beer Cup or the Black Label Carling Cup. Well, welcome again to this episode. This is Oscar Into Football, where we discuss anything to do with football from Africa to the world and from the world to Africa. Well, last 16 matchup between TS Galaxy ends with the Nebele boys, Team Sugazi's team going through to the next round, winning this one 5-4 on penalties. It was a lovely match to watch for a neutral. And all of this episode, we are discussing, or we're going through the 5 things we picked up, 5 things we learned from this game. If you're seeing my face for the first time, it's content for the first time, please do hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, share, and hit that notification bell so you are always informed when I post a new episode. Without wasting any time, let's go to the first point. Well, Black Label brought a new thing in that Man of the Match award, putting 100,000 tag on anyone who will win. Well, the fans have spoken and they voted for Umlungisi Mbunjan. Had a fantastic game. The plan was clear from Galaxy. We cannot match Sundowns pound for pound, but rather we'll try and absorb the pressure and hit them on the counter. And Bunjana was instrumental in that plan. You can tell even from the goals they scored. Counter attacks, win the ball in the middle, unleash their speedy forwards, and that's how you score the goal. Well, he takes home 100,000 rand. Well, I think this might be it for the man, because even if they win this tournament, I doubt the bonuses. I doubt the bonuses would be 100,000 rand for each player at TS Galaxy. This is not to disrespect TS Galaxy, but I think from Bunjan, that's his bonus for the year, and he is happy. Obviously, the next match he'll also try and fight again to get that 100,000 rand. That's the first point. The Man of the Match award is true, and the first one to take it was Umlungisi Mbunjana. Oh, the second point, rather on a sad note, and everyone is talking about this one, is the tackle or the injury that Bernard Parker got under the hands of Benten Bongani Zungu. Well, we are praying and hoping that Bernard Parker, number one, speedy recovery to him, and that he can come back to the field. I mean, it's a bad tackle. And Bernard Parker is at the wrong side of 30, I think it's 36 or if not 37, I'm not sure. To get such an injury at that age is not good news because the recovery is going to be quite long. It's going to be quite long. We're praying that even the medical team at Galaxy will support the player. I think what is leaving a bitter taste to any neutral, to anyone who loves football in this country who was watching that match, is the reaction of Bongani Zungu after the tackle. Whether you think, whether your intentions were not malicious and you're not intending really to break the player or injure the player, at this point it really doesn't matter. But it is by your result that the player's leg is broken. At least, Mfana, at least show a bit of remorse, show a bit of accountability. I mean, if you look at the reaction of his teammates, Neo and Mayema, and I think it was Musa Libusa, you could just tell that they were showing more remorse than the one who was involved in the contact, which is Ubongani Zungu. Well, sitting here, I'm hoping that a letter will come out from his PR team apologizing to the player and everyone involved. It was a bad tackle. It was a bad tackle. Whether he didn't intend to or not, it really doesn't matter at this point in time. It's a bad tackle. It looks like a broken leg. And we're hoping that Bongani Zungu will come out and apologize to TS Galaxy, to the player, to his teammates as well, because he really also cost Mamelodi Sundowns. It was an unnecessary tackle. I mean, it's in the mid, it's almost at the center line. No dangers whatsoever. They've just equalized. And then they just scored a minute later. It's the tackle. It's a straight red. Well done to Mr. Ref. I think the middlemen yesterday were, did well on the 90 minutes. It's just, I mentioned the other point at the end. But yeah, speed of recovery, Dion, Bennett Parker, Bongani Zungu, brother, write a letter, apologize, come out, make a video, whether Instagram, whatever, do something and show a bit of accountability and demonstrate some form of remorse. Number three, you got to give it to Mamelodi Sundowns. Whether you are for them or anti Mamelodi Sundowns, but you got to give it to this football club. They will stick to their identity no matter what. Majority of the players obviously were not there because of the FIFA break and because of Mamelodi Sundowns' involvement in the African Super League starting this weekend. I don't know whether it was Mamelodi Sundowns who asked for this fixture to be played a day after the FIFA break. I'm not sure. But either way, it was going to be a congestion of fixtures for Mamelodi Sundowns with the number of competitions they were going to be involved in. Anyway, Mamelodi Sundowns, they stick to their identity no matter what. They were playing with 10 men, but they're still patient. They're still building up from the back. They're still knocking the ball. They're still trying to play in the pockets. It is just their identity. Majority of the players who were starting yesterday are not starters because majority of the starters were in or are coming back from Ivory Coast when Bafana played against Cote d'Ivoire. So majority of the players who started are not regulars, but you can tell some of them really lifted up their hands. We had not seen Rashid Duruk for some time. He's also coming back from an injury. Mkulise had a good shift yesterday. Mabue had a good shift yesterday. I don't think it was necessary to take him out, but we don't know these things. I mean, if a game we can tell it's going to be stretched until the 120th minute. Maybe some players can't take it anymore because majority of these players are coming back from long injuries. But the majority of these players they really played well. They played well. I mean, even the MDC player was introduced. Even had a heart to step up and take a penalty, which is my next point. Point number 4. Someone made a joke and said, maybe PSL should introduce penalties if a match ends in a draw so that we don't have draws any longer in this league, but either a win or a lose. If maybe PSL can introduce penalties if there's a draw, maybe Mamelodi Sundowns can be relegated. Yeah, it is what it is. There's a whole lot of people who are really hating on the success of Mamelodi Sundowns. And talking about penalties, I don't know. I don't think there's anyone confident going forward if Mamelodi Sundowns goes to penalties that they're going to win them. It's been not a great outing for them when they have penalties. Lost to Orlando Pirates in the MTN 8 final on penalties. Now it's TS Galaxy. I mean, players who used to be great in taking penalties. You're Kennedy Mokwena. Kennedy Mokwena, my brother, have to step up. I know you are an assistant goalkeeper coach, but you need to step up and transfer that skill of taking a penalty. Calmness, accuracy, look at the reaction of the goalkeeper, and really teach these players how to take them. Dennis Onyango transfer that skill on how your players or your goalkeepers need to save penalties because any Sundown supporter, I don't think they will be confident in Sundowns when they eventually go to penalties. Because how Sundowns is built up, they're built up in such a way that they're not planning for penalties. They're always planning to win the game in 90 minutes or 120 minutes. I don't know, is it because maybe they know they won't be at their best when it goes to penalties. I think majority of Mamelodi Sundowns on this last point, which is the fifth point on the five things we picked up or learned on this match, is that majority of Sundowns fans, they're probably divided on this one. It is Gatsen, AMG, Sereno. Some wanted the player just to leave because he might bring bad energy to the camp. And there are those who still love the player. I mean, the player has been at Mamelodi Sundowns for 6 years, and in all those years, he's picked up a trophy every year. And yesterday, he was picked up to be in the squad. Well, it's understandable because majority of big players were not here. As I said before, FIFA break, they're probably coming back from Ivory Coast, and Coutinho was picked up to be in the bench. Now that he's on the bench, one thing I really didn't like was the fact that he was introduced too late. I think he was introduced 5 minutes left in the 90 minutes, and the younger player or the MDC player was subbed earlier than him, which I find to be, I don't know, disrespectful. I mean, Sereno is a big player. He's a big player. Anyway, after his introduction, uh, he's the one who scored that equalizer to make it 2-2, force the game to extra time, eventually penalties. But Sereno, you can tell he still has got those touches. He's still a good player. You can't become a bad player overnight. Um, Now the question is, when all these other players are coming back from, I mean, for the weekend, the Super League game against Pedro, what's going to happen to Sereno? Is he going to make the bench, or is it back to the stands for him? We'll have to wait. We'll have to wait and see. We'll have to wait and see. And it is understandable why some fans would not want Sereno to be part of the squad because he was trying to force his way out of the club. Clearly, he has apologized and has spoken to the technical team, and hence he made the bench yesterday. Some months ago, this player, or same player, was training alone at Clock. It was a sad one to see. But yeah, welcome back, Captain Sereno. Fight for to be in that squad. Make the players who in the first 11 or the first 18 to be uncomfortable. We really need a player like Sereno in the league and Super League and also in the CAF Champions League. I try to really make that as short as I can on these five things we've picked up in the game again and the game between TS Galaxy and Mamelodi Sundowns. Lovely game for a neutral. Apparently, I'm hearing from the corridors of Soweto that the Sowetans are happy that this nuisance called Mamelodi Sundowns has been kicked out of this beer cup. Well, I don't know whether it's a blessing in disguise for Mamelodi Sundowns who have been kicked out of a competition whose prize money is 6.8 million for a winner and 3 million for a loser, compared to the 19 million just an appearance fee in the Super League for Mamelodi Sundowns. Might be a blessing in disguise, but again, Mamelodi Sundowns, as we have known them for all these years, they want to compete for everything. They want to compete for everything. It's two cups lost for Mamelodi Sundowns, and there's three more to go. It's the league, it's the African Super League, it's the Netbank, and it's the CAF Champions League. So there's four more competition to play for Mamelodi Sundowns. Good luck to all the ones that are left. The TS Galaxy is in the quarters of the Beer Cup, and they are waiting to see this weekend who will join them in the last eight of the Beer Cup. I love that man of the match award thingy. It's gonna make players really, really step up. And Team Sugas was worried that a team with more supporters might outvote them, but clearly, Mr. Tim, it's not the case. Bongani picked up the award. Please do subscribe to the channel. 80% of you who come and watch these channels or my channel, maybe you forget to subscribe, but please do just pause the video and go to the subscribe and just subscribe them and just like the video. And yeah, I would also appreciate to hear your comments on the game. What do you think about it? What do you think about Mamelodi Sundowns not having their full squad? Um, what's your opinion about it? Is it fair, or it's something they've called upon themselves? I don't know. Thank you once again for staying this long with me. This is Oscar Football. God bless you.